Hello students, welcome to online class. Today I am going to explain the interference of light. An important characteristics of light wave is their ability under certain circumstances to interfere with one another. Most people observe some type of optical interference every day but do not realize. One of the best example of interference is the light reflected from the film of oil floating on water. The another example is the soap bubble that reflect a variety of beautiful colors when illuminated by natural or artificial light source. Before going to the detailed study of interference, first we have to know principle of superposition. When the two or more waves of the same nature travel simultaneously through the medium, they do not destroy each other, but each would produce its own effect independently. In 1801, Thomas Young enunciated a principle called principle of superposition. It states that when two or more waves meet at a point, the resultant wave has a displacement which is the algebraic sum of the displacement of each wave. In the figure A, we can see that here the two waves almost same amplitude propagate through the medium. When they superpose over each other, the resultant displacement is equal to the sum of the displacement of the individual wave, and it is given by y is equal to a1 plus a2. In the figure B, we can see that when the two waves of same amplitude propagate through the medium, they superpose over each other. When the crest of one wave fall on the trough of the other wave, the resultant displacement is become zero, and it is given by y is equal to a1 minus a2. If the two waves have equal amplitude, then the resultant displacement it's become zero. Next, we will move on to the interference of light. When two waves propagate through the medium, they superpose over each other. At a certain point, the crest of one wave fall on the crest of other wave. At that point, we can get a maximum intensity or the maximum amplitude. At certain point, the crest of one wave is fall on the trough of other wave. There we can get a minimum intensity. It means that when the light waves are propagated through the medium, there is a distribution of light energy. So at certain point we can get maximum intensity, and at certain point we can get minimum intensity, and that phenomenon, that is here what we call the interference of light. So, interference of light wave is defined as modification in the distribution of light energy when two or more waves superpose over each other. There are two types of interference. First one is constructive interference. Constructive interference are obtained when the crest of one wave is fall on the crest of other wave. In this case, the resultant amplitude is maximum. Here, the two interferring waves have a displacement which is in the same direction. Consider the two waves which travel in the same direction with the same frequency. Now the amplitude of the wave gets add up when the light wave are at same place and time. The new wave looks similar to the original wave, but the amplitude of the wave is higher. In the destructive interference, when the crest of one wave is fall on the trough of other wave, the resultant amplitude will be minimum. The case in which the resultant amplitude is minimum is called destructive interference. We can see in the figure here the one wave is up and the second wave is down, so that when they add together the resultant one becomes 0. Thus, in destructive interference, the sum of the wave can be either less than the original wave or it can be 0. Now, we will move on to the condition for bright fringes and dark fringes. The bright bands are obtained by constructive interference and dark bands are formed by the destructive interference. That is because we know that in the constructive interference we can get the maximum intensity, that is called a bright bands. In destructive interference we can get the minimum intensity, it is called dark bands. Next, the condition for bright fringes. When the two or more waves propagate through the medium, they superpose over each other or meet each other in such a way that the path difference between the wave is integral multiple of lambda, or the phase difference is even integral multiple of pi, there we can get the bright fringes. When the two or more waves propagate through the medium, they meet in such a way that the path difference between the wave is half integral multiple of lambda, or the phase difference is odd integral multiple of pi. In that case, we can get a dark fringes. Next, we will move on to a coherent sources. The two sources are said to be coherent if they emit light wave of the same frequency with equal or nearly equal amplitude, satisfying the condition that the phase difference between any 2 points in the wave field remains constant over prolonged period of time. This means that the two sources must emit radiation of the same wavelength. Two independent sources of light cannot be regarded to be coherent even though it emit the wave of same wavelength, frequency and amplitude, since they do not satisfy the condition of constant phase difference. In the figure 2, we can see that here the two independent sources which are switched on simultaneously, it emits the wave of same frequency and same amplitude, but which cannot produces a constant phase difference. So this is not a coherent sources. It means that the two independent sources is not two independent source of light which cannot be produced a coherent source. The two coherent sources can be obtained from a single source of light by reflection or refraction, which means that the two sources are said to be coherent if they originate from a single source. Next, we will move on to the Young's double slit experiment. The wave theory of light was proposed by Huygens. Huygens stated that the light is made up of wave that vibrates up and down and is perpendicular to the direction of light. But this concept was not readily accepted and was in contradiction to the particle theory of light proposed by Newton. Newton described that the light is made up of tiny particle. So that's why in the beginning wave theory of light was not accepted. This was first shown in 1801 by Thomas Young, who sent sunlight through two narrow slits and showed that the interference pattern. So Thomas Young was the first person performed the interference experiment, which is called Young's double slit experiment, and this experiment proved the wave theory of light. So this is the experimental arrangement of Young's double slit experiment. So in the figure we can see that S that represent narrow vertical slit illuminated by a source of monochromatic light. A and B are two closely spaced identical vertical slits kept parallel to each other and to S. So we know that the wave, which consists of a crust and trough, in the figure here dotted line that represent trough and continuous line that represent the crust. When the two waves originate from the source A and B, which interfere each other, and it produces interference pattern on the screen. So here A and B is originate from a single source S, so it satisfies the condition of the coherent sources. So that's why here we can get well-defined interference pattern on the screen. So next we will move on to the condition for sustained interference. So in order to get sustained interference, the two sources of light must be coherent. And second one is the light emitted by the two sources must be monochromatic. Third one is the amplitude of two interfering beams should be equal. Fourth one is the two sources must be narrow. Fifth one is the two sources must be close to each other. And next one is the screen should be at large distance from the coherent source. And last one is the state of polarization of the light interference should be same. When the two waves are superposed over each other, when satisfy these conditions, there we can get alternating bright and dark band that are called as the interference fringes. Thank you.